Hello, my name is Troy Shaw, and welcome to our first week of Black History Month. On this week's program, we have local attorney Timothy Baldwin, also president and CEO of Badger Meter, Richard Mewson, and a newcomer, Christopher Carter. He is the president and CEO of CCI. So you need to sit back and relax, and let's focus on diversity right now.
Focus on Diversity with Troy Shaw.
And welcome to the Focus on Diversity program. I am your host, Troy Shaw. Let's get right into introducing my guests. We have Timothy Baldwin, local attorney here in Milwaukee. Also, we have Christopher Carter, president and CEO of CCI, along with Richard Mewson, a favorite of my audience. He's president and CEO of Badger Meter. Gentlemen, thank you for being on our program here today. Now, look, we're going to get right into a topic, and we were talking earlier today about Bradley Tech. Last week, matter of fact, we talked about Bradley Tech. Apparently, Bradley Tech last night had a huge brawl at a basketball game, which a lot of people believe that Bradley Tech is becoming quickly and fastly a failed school. Timothy, what's your comments on that?
Well, I think, I hate to say I told you so, but pouring money at a school and giving more money to a school is not necessarily the answer. Obviously, there are issues with Bradley Tech, and there's problems with security, there's problems with how it's being administered, and my understanding is kids are being taken out of one school for disciplinary problems and being then shuffled to Bradley Tech. So it's a matter of how this school is being administered, the administration of that school, and it's a matter of how these kids are getting educated. That's a problem.
Quit luring me up on this topic, Timothy, because I know what you're doing here. The fact of the matter is Oprah Winfrey's giving more money to people for schools across these, and Bradley Tech, although Bradley Tech is a school that is touted as one of the schools that a lot of people here in Milwaukee would like to see succeed, is failing because of discipline problems. It has nothing to do with money. So, what is your and yeah, I believe you're luring me up on that. What is your comments on that, Chris?
The discipline is, and that's where I think that the big thing is it's the discipline that's out there. You look at the administration, and you made the comment that they're sending students to Bradley Tech who have discipline problems, and that's where parts of the failure are. The graduation rates, they're better than what's happening at MPS. Of course, anything at MPS is better than MPS, unfortunately. But if they're starting to get some of those, as they're called at MPS, the bad students or the problem children, to actually graduate and starting to do better, you got to look at the discipline. What is the administration doing? That basketball game last night is a black eye on that school again. And now you've got 2 black eyes in that school. You've got 60 police coming in there batoning, tasing these children. What are they doing in regards to the discipline?
No pun intended, I'm sure, right? No pun intended.
Not at all, sir.
Here we are again, Rich. A school that now looks like it should fail, or looks like it's going to fail. MMAC is touted as one of the great schools here in Milwaukee, the GMC as well. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I've seen statistics that their graduation rates are better, that their attendance is better than the average in MPS. I know that isn't saying much, but they have been the MMAC and the GMC got behind this, the business community got behind this school and said that this could be the model, this could be the solution. I'm very disappointed in what I'm seeing. The kids, it is a discipline problem. I don't know what happened at this basketball game. Maybe the kids were breaking the Baraboo law by yelling USA or something. I'm not sure what sparked the whole thing. But if you can't keep discipline in a school, how can you educate? I mean, this is just like other issues where if people aren't safe, you can't have a decent city. So safety is paramount in any city. Well, the same with the school. If the kids aren't safe, how can they learn? How can you educate them?
$1.5 billion we spend in the Milwaukee public school system to have our children trained, and unfortunately, it looks like you're not getting the job. And when we come back, we're going to keep the Stay with Focus on Diversity. We'll be right back.
And now back to Focus on Diversity with Troy Shaw.
Hello and welcome back to the program. Let's continue our discussion. You know, typically we don't do this, but we're going to start doing this. We get guests, and I should say we get people who kind of like write into us, and they send us emails. And this guy named Frank sent us an email. We're going to read this on. His name is Frank the Angry White Guy Nidre. Hello, I watch your show Sunday AM and again was disappointed, Mr. Shaw. I called myself the Angry White Man because I feel that the beautiful black children in Milwaukee are being cheated of their future. You have 3 guests on your show and none of them can come up with a positive idea for change. I challenge you to probe your guests and go beyond the normal code words of poverty, diversity, and Katrina. I want to hear a real discussion of the problems in this community and a real solution. I will send you my solutions as the topics come up, and for the first time, I will hear a mind-opening honesty that is the only cure for the disaster that we call the black community. Oh my God, the Angry White Guy, Frank the Angry White Guy. Look, gentlemen, we have to comment on this. When you hear that, Timothy, what do you think?
Yet another white man posing as a vanguard for the black plight. I appreciate that.
Oh, okay, there you go. Okay.
You know, I appreciate his sensitivity to African American issues, but I question whether or not they are valid in terms of.
Can a white guy come up with real positive solutions for the black community?
Well, maybe so, but
because basically he's saying that we failed. We're failing. Black people are failing at their own destiny.
His email itself is
Abraham
full
Lincoln
of platitudes.
came up with a solution.
Yes.
Abraham Lincoln.
So a white guy can come up with a good solution.
Well,
Just
yes, he
because he's
did.
white doesn't
The
mean he can't
Emancipation
come up-
Proclamation.
Right. Just because he's white doesn't mean he can't come up with a good solution.
But Abraham Lincoln's solutions were substantive, not more
Right.
platitudes
I
about
agree.
how I feel about the African American community and the beautiful black children. I wonder what Frank does in terms of hands-on working in the African American community.
You mean, does he get his hands dirty? No pun
Absolutely,
intended.
rather than simply writing into a talk show and expressing his disdain on our approach
Chris,
towards
what do you think?
these issues.
What do you think? I mean,
I
honestly,
am
Chris,
not
don't
an
hold
angry
back.
white man.
Don't hold back.
I am a
I don't
white
want you to
man.
hold back on Focus on Diversity. What do you think?
I believe, and it's something that I firmly believe in. I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, brown, blue, green. We are all people. And if you can't come up and work together as people in regards to issues that are going on in the world, kind of like we talked about the first segment, in regards to Bradley Tech, people need to have conversations in regards to how people can help each other. I never lived downtown Milwaukee. I grew up.
So what's the solution, Chris? What's the solution?
Why can't people have conversations? Why can't
That's
we
what we're
talk?
doing. That's what we're doing right
Why
now.
can't we
That's
talk?
what we're
as a-
doing
Why
right now,
can't
Frank.
the angry man, come in here? I would like to see Frank sitting across from me and say, Frank, give me some of your input.
Frank
Give me some of
doesn't have the
your.
nerve.
Give me some of your ideas on how to save things.
What
There's
do you
nothing
think?
in that.
I think Frank sounds a little bit like the Democratic Party. It's very easy to sit in the cheap seats and chuck out criticism. But I'll also point out to Frank that I wasn't on the show last week, so I wasn't one of those.
my God.
I was not one of those 3 people who didn't give solutions.
Okay, well then you give us a solution on how we can solve this problem.
Pilot, I wash my hands.
All right, guys. Okay, here's something, and Frank, here's something. I mean, there is progress because here we got 2 black head coaches making history in Super Bowl 41. For the first time in history, 2 African American coaches will lead their teams into the NFL's biggest show, Super Bowl 41. Tony Dungy and the Indianapolis coach, Lovie Smith of the Chicago Bears, the 2 first African American coaches to do this. I mean, this is an historic event. I mean, what do you think, Rich?
Well, I think it's interesting that in a sport that's been dominated by black players for many years, there have been 10 black coaches, and 6 of them are coaching today. That means prior to today, in the entire history of the NFL, there have been 4 black coaches.